Good morning again, Year 11. Mr. Gumby here with our weekly video assembly. Once again, I'm sat in an empty room in school, which is slightly weird with no Mr. Raymond here this week either. He's at home making phone calls to everybody, so sat on my own talking to my laptop feels a bit strange, but we're getting used to it. So the theme for today is we're going to think about gratitude, which may seem a little bit difficult sometimes during the times that we're in. It has been a difficult year. There are signs at the moment, as you know, that things could be getting better in the coming months, but we've just still got to keep going and working hard in the lockdown and keeping each other safe. So we're just going to talk about gratitude and looking at staying positive during these difficult times. Just before we get into that, I've just got some slides to go through about home learning and certain rules. Can be a bit boring, so stay with it. I'm going to read out 3 slides, which isn't ideal, but I just need you to listen to them, just so that we're clear on what the rules are during you being online in lessons from home. Okay, so just stay with me for a couple of slides, and then also we've got to give out some acknowledgement certificates at the end. So whilst you're at home and you're on your computers or your phones or whatever you're learning from at the moment, we're still obviously got to have school rules and a certain climate for learning that we have to take account of. Thinking about your teachers and about other children in your lessons. So our purpose is to provide a caring, useful and enjoyable, effective experience even though you're at home. It is difficult. But we still have to keep going because we're preparing you for your next stage, and that's not going to end, as you know. Some of you have got college interviews this week, some of you have already had them, and some of you will be having them in the near future. So we do have certain expectations around remote learning, and I'm going to go into those now. So in order to contribute to a caring, useful and enjoyable experience, these are the certain things that we want you to think about when you're in your lessons online. So first of all, get yourself into a routine. We talked about this last week. Routines are really important. They give you something to work towards, because just floating around for the day and putting things off and doing anything but what you should be doing. I've been there, I know what it's like. Procrastination is what it's called, when you're trying to find other things to do rather than the thing you should be doing, and you're putting it off and putting it off. And what a timetable does is helps you to avoid that, and it gets you stuck into what you should be doing early and gets you into that routine. And as we said last week, the hardest thing to do is to get started, and once you started you'll find that it gets easier. So get yourself into the routine by following your calendar on Teams. Now I have had 1 or 2 students this week saying the calendar's gone a bit funny on their Teams and certain things have been cancelled. Don't worry about that. What I would suggest is, if that's you, just follow your daily timetable. If things have been cancelled on your calendar, your lesson hasn't been cancelled. Your lessons are going to be carrying on, every lesson on Teams. So just log on to each team, each class at the right time, and your teacher will be there to help you. Okay? You should be punctual, so get to that lesson on time, just as you would have to be when you're in school, so your teacher can welcome everybody at the same time, rather than keep having to say, oh, we've got a student that's just arrived or another student's just arrived. Try and get there early so that everybody can get the same start time. Try and get yourself in a quiet place. I know that's difficult sometimes. One of the problems when I'm doing things like this at home is that my daughter will be running around, or my wife might come in, and it is difficult, you know, finding yourself a quiet place at home. You might have younger siblings running around, but try your best to find yourself a quiet and an appropriate environment with no distractions at home. The other thing is take pride in your work. It's difficult because you may think, oh, well, I'm on my own. I'm emailing it back to my teacher, or I'm sending it on Teams, and they might not read it all. Trust me, your work that you're doing is worthwhile. Okay, it's going to be there. It's going to be used as evidence to give you a grade. So your teachers are reading it and they're keeping it, and this is what we're going to use as evidence in the summer when we give you a grade. Okay, so it is worthwhile. So please get yourself motivated and think that what you're doing is worthwhile. So take pride in your work and complete everything to your personal best. Okay. You're also responsible for your own behaviour on these Teams lessons. So again, be sensible. Stay off the chat for personal things, and only chat to your teacher if you need help or you need something explaining. Okay, so don't use it for personal chats. Keep your camera switched off and your microphone muted unless a teacher asks a student to contribute via the microphone, but the camera must always be turned off. If you need to ask your teacher something, you can raise your hand on the hand on the screen. You can put your hand up, or you can use the chat function to message your teacher privately. You can do it on the team chat, but also you can message your teacher privately to ask a question about the work that's been set. Okay. You should only be discussing specific learning information. We just kind of talked about this really. Keep it specific to what you're doing at that time. Just talk about the lesson that you're in to your teacher. Okay. You've got other types of social media you can use to chat to your friends, but not during lesson time. Okay, you can do that after school, you can do that at lunchtime or break time. Students shouldn't be creating any other group chats on the Teams or remain in a group chat if they've been added, or if your teacher has asked you not to, for example, and you've carried on having a chat with your friends. Just be respectful and do what they're asking you to do, because then things can be done quicker. Okay, if you are being added by anyone, just let me know and we'll sort it. Be respectful of others. Don't threaten anyone or humiliate anyone. These are the givens that we expect. You already know this. I'm repeating things you already know. Treat others in the way that you want to be treated. Students need to understand that bullying is not acceptable. Again, things you already know. If anybody is making silly comments, thinking they're being funny, and people are being hurt by it, please let me know. Let your teacher know. Let a parent know, and we'll sort it out. Understand that aggressive and insulting language towards anyone on Teams has not been tolerated. Unfortunately, we have had 1 or 2 issues like this. Not many, considering how many students we have. With 1,400 students, we've had 1 or 2 issues around this, which is very good, and they have been dealt with immediately. So any insulting language or anything like that, anything aggressive, again, let me know, let your teacher know, let your parent know, and we'll deal with it. Don't be deliberately accessing any material that could be deemed illegal or offensive. Again, this is always the case on social media with the way technology is now. Once it's out there, it's out there. Okay, so be very careful and thoughtful about what you are sharing with people. Please don't request one-on-one sessions with your teacher or any other platform, and understand that Microsoft Teams provided by the school are monitored and logged. And all the minutes you spend on there, all the messages you send, and everything you do on Microsoft Teams is monitored by your teachers and by me. So please just be sensible and very careful. Don't under any circumstances record or take photos of teachers or classmates or any lesson content. Again, we know what's going on Teams, and we just don't want you to be doing these kind of things. We want everybody to be safe and sensible. Understand that the rules are there to keep everybody safe, okay? And it's normal school policy. If normal school behaviour policy is broken, as we know, then sanctions have to be put in place, which could involve, unfortunately, not being able to access your lessons, which we don't want to do. So, moving on. Another way that we think that you could help yourself during lockdown is another part of your routine is do some reading. Now, when I was your age, and if somebody said to me do some reading, I would be a little bit like, oh, it's a bit boring, I'd rather be outside playing football. But there are some good positive things to take from silent reading, and some of them are on there now. Whilst you're off school for such a period of time, you can get out of the habit of reading, and you need to keep developing your reading, especially going into college next year. So it will help you keep your reading age where it needs to be, your reading speed, and your level of understanding and vocabulary to a high level ready for college. It will also help you to improve your attention span and your concentration, which again will be good for college next year. So just think about maybe reading a book before you go to bed. Make yourself tired, make yourself sleep better. So moving on, what does gratitude mean? Again, it is difficult to be grateful for things at the moment, but we have to look at the small things and we have to remain positive. So gratitude means being thankful and grateful for the things that we have that maybe lots of other people don't. 4 reasons why gratitude and being positive is good for your mental health. Number 1, expressing gratitude can improve your mood. Again, it comes down to, I'm going to keep repeating this, but it comes down to being positive. Positive people look at the good things rather than the bad things. So is your glass half empty or half full? Those people who see it as being half full and are positive and are always looking for positive things and positive outcomes, it increases their happiness. So please try and look on the bright side of things, is what I'm saying, especially now when you're at home and you're locked up in your house, you can't see your friends or your family. Try and see the reason for it and see the light at the end of the tunnel. Look, you know, in a few weeks or months, whenever it might be, things will be getting better. Showing gratitude can make you more optimistic. I'm optimistic more now. Now I'm in work, I'm in the building. You're not here, obviously, you're all at home. But we can see every day, if you watch the news, I don't know if you do, but the virus is becoming more under control at the moment. The numbers are dropping. I'm more positive about my outlook. I'm hoping that we can get you back in school as soon as we can, but please stay optimistic. Realise that you've got your whole of your life ahead of you now, and next year is a massive year. So you've got your college interviews, you might have had them already, you've got them coming up, and then you've got college next year, and it's going to be a massive year for you. So look forward to it and be optimistic. Sharing gratitude with others. So if, as some of my friends sometimes get a little bit down at these times, some of my family get a bit down, sharing the small benefits of our lives can help other people around us. So get other people around you to see the good things that are going on. You know, we are lucky in many ways. There are lots of people in other parts of the country or other countries that have things a lot worse than we do at the moment. So share your gratitude and try and spread the positivity to people around you. And then practicing gratitude can improve your physical health too. It comes as one package. We talk about this a lot in assemblies, that a positive attitude goes a long way, and it will also help you to stay active and stay healthy physically. So for example, I've been going on a lot of runs recently. Even though it's been a bit icy outside, I was finding every excuse not to go out. Oh, it's cold, it's icy. But what I did is I was positive. I was careful, obviously. I didn't want to go slipping and sliding, but I got myself out there and I made myself do things that were positive, and as a result of that, I felt much better. It leads to better energy levels and better sleep and a stronger immune system. So studies have shown that if you are positive, you are grateful for things, you are more productive in your learning, you're better equipped to deal with your feelings, and you're more aware of other people's emotions. So it can help you develop your mental maturity. Again, for year 11s, this is really important moving on to college next year. Your mental maturity, developing friendships, will be really important to you next year when you're going into college, meeting loads of new people, and it will help you develop into a young adult in the way that we would love you to do. So think about it, be positive, and keep going with your work. I know it's difficult at home, getting your routine, get your work downloaded. If people are doing things in different ways, some people are writing it out on paper and taking photos, some people are downloading the work and typing on it. Whatever works best for you, keep going with it. Okay, your teachers are really there. Your teachers really want to help you. Send your work in, we'll help you improve it, and we'll get you the best grades we can. That's what we're here, that's our aim now, is to get you the best grades you can and get you in college where you can again develop next year. So try these 5 things. Appreciate everything, not only the big things but also the small things. Think about your own world, your own life, your own family. Appreciate the small things that you have, because not everybody has them. It says here to keep a journal. I've never been one for keeping journals, but some people find it really, really helpful to write things down. It gets your feelings out, and it feels like you're sharing problems when you write them down. Volunteer in your community when we're able to. Obviously, we might not be able to go out into the community helping others at this time. The same as spending time with loved ones. When that chance comes around and we're allowed to go and mix with our families, go and see your loved ones and your families, and be grateful for having people around you that love you. So we're going to move on to some acknowledgements now for your home learning. I'm really pleased to say that day by day, week by week, the home learning of everybody is really improving. We're getting more and more people on lessons, on live lessons. We're getting more work sent back. If you know anybody that's not yet joining your lessons, please encourage them. If they're struggling for any reason, encourage them to let me know, so I can take away the barriers and I can get them into their lessons. Okay, so well done for the following people in each of these subjects. In English, it gives me great pleasure to say Freya Baxter, well done for your commitment to improving your work. Well done to Freya. Fantastic. Moving on to English as an additional language, and Junior, for a very high quality of work handed in, definitely trying really hard and pushing himself to get better at English. Well done, Junior. I'm hoping at the moment I'm not the only one. Give it a round of applause, but it feels like I am. If you are watching this at home, please take into account all the good hard work that people are putting in. Moving on to maths. Josh Thomas. I'm sure Josh got an award last week, and he's got another one this week. Well done, Josh, for consistent high quality work and attempting extension activities too. Well done to Josh. On to science. We had quite a few nominations for science this week, but the winner is Samir Ali Raja for his relentless focus on improving. Samir has made huge progress in very little time. He reflects on his work, discovering his areas of weakness and planning how he's going to improve. He's developing metacognitive skill. So well done to Samir Ali Raja. Well done, Samir. Modern foreign languages. And our star this week is Victoria for always completing all of her work and submitting it to a good standard and trying her best. Well done to Victoria. Fantastic. On to geography. Today's winner is Yusuf Mahmood. Well done to Yusuf. Excellent effort and engagement. It's brilliant to hear, and it's good to see some of the new names coming through now each day and each week of people who are really engaged in learning. So well done to Yusuf. Fantastic. History. Mohammed Ibrahim. Great engagement on Teams. Has attended all meetings, completed all his work, and asked good questions in the chat. So well done, Mohammed Ibrahim. Fantastic. RS Muzammil. Religious Studies Muzammil Khan for excellent engagement. Well done, Muzammil. And in PE, Ilyas Mohammed, working extremely hard with his sports science coursework, even through the tough situation that we find ourselves in. So well done, Ilyas. All of these people are going above and beyond what we're asking you to do. Keep doing it, okay? It's worthwhile. Keep doing it. We're really, really pleased and grateful for having such great students in Year 11. Moving on to computer science, and Jack Howarth has the award this week for computer science. Excellent engagement, returned all work to a high standard. Well done, Jack. Superb. Photography, Georgia Mayers for completing outstanding coursework. Well done to Georgia. Another person who got an award last week, but in a different subject, so it shows that we across the board, people are going in all the lessons and they're trying hard in all of the lessons. Remember not to just concentrate on one lesson or your favourite lesson or something you might be best at. It's important to do all of your lessons across the board and get work back for every lesson so that you're getting a grade in each lesson, in each subject, okay? On to art. Callum Shea, much improved attitude to learning and engagement with remote learning. So well done to Callum. Fantastic news, well done. Food technology. Luana Tavares for consistently demonstrating an excellent attitude to learning. Well done, Luana. One of our new students doing really well and settling in really well. Well done. Business studies. Akib Kauza. The quote there that I got from your teacher was great efforts. Short but sweet, but well done to Akib for great effort, and keep going. Well done, Akib. On to enterprise. Ethan Flight, well done. Focused and working well. Well done to Ethan. Moving on to media. Jalal Aftab, great pleasure to mention Jalal's name. Well done, Jalal. Focused and working hard to complete his work. Excellent. Well done. Health and social care. We've got loads of awards this week. Sana Rani, working hard to complete assessment tasks. So well done to Sana. Finally, that finishes our awards for this week, but we will have more next week. Keep going with your work. There are some reminders on the screen there if you need any help with anything. It really does help me to stay positive in school when I might be sat in my office on my own and I'm getting teachers sending me through these awards that I'm putting on the assembly. It helps me to stay positive, and it makes me realise what good work you're all still doing when you're at home. So thank you for helping me to stay positive. If you need any help with anything, I'm here to support you. Mr. Raymond is. Please email, get me on Teams, phone me, whatever you need to do if you need any help with anything. There are some reminders on there about what you can do to help yourself. Your work does need completing for all lessons, as I've just mentioned. Get yourself in a routine. Control what you can control. Anything you can't control, don't worry about. Keep yourself going, stay motivated. There's a website at the bottom there that has lots of things on there that could help you. And I'm going to leave you now until next week with my final slide. Going to enjoy it while I can. This is helping me to stay positive. See you next week. Let's hope City don't win that game in hand. We're enjoying being top while we can. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.